Welcome back to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and review episode number 2 of 3. Yeah, I'm going to do one more after this one. This time I'm only viewing episodes 9 through 12. You're probably thinking, wait, it's 13 episodes plus an OVA. Why not just review the rest of the thing with the second one? Well, because I want to save for the next episode, because I want to get my final thoughts on the series for now until whenever the series is coming back. But all that all depends upon the studio who makes the series, which is Kaito Animation. Yep. Now, for these particular episodes, episodes 9 through 12, yeah, these episodes adapt from chapters 34, 48, 12, 20, and 32. 10, I could not find exactly what the heck this episode adapts from. Yes, now, from what I heard about episode 12, I'll talk about this one first. There was a stupid feminist joke I heard in here. Like, I think that it was probably a scene that related to something with a flashback, but I heard it, I'm like, that's not offensive. That is just a woman saying stupid things when she's drunk. I'm not sure what the heck the guy was talking about. Yeah, it was a guy from one my community I'm part of. Awesome Universe recommended me this series, and he recommended not to watch English dub because of the stupid feminist joke. What? It happens for about 10 seconds. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was offensive. I thought it was simply just there. I had no reaction to it at all. Yeah, I wasn't like he also said that the joke was a slap in the face to the creator of the series. I kind of think so, but the thing is, prior to like a week or two ago, I had never heard of this series at all, and yet he was so up in arms about this particular joke about for this dub, and this is why he hates Funimation. All because of the fact that we have to throw in some political stuff in here. I have watched many Funimation dubs, many. Even some of them are not very big, stuff like Akame Gotta Kill, High School DxD. Let's see, there's Case Closed. And of course, well, that's a big series, it has fans, but there was nothing offensive about the dub. No, I've never found any of Funimation's dubs offensive. And yet he refuses to watch any Funimation dubs because of the fact of what happened with Magnolia. Look, okay, what happened with Vic Magnolia, what's publicly revealed about him, has never been actually proven. What I've heard behind the scenes, what the actual reason why he was let go from Funimation, I have no idea that's true either. Yeah, so I don't know what is true. Basically, Vic Magnolia because he had disagreeing with Funimation. That's my perspective on the matter. But let's talk about these fun episodes for this series. Starting with episode 9, Sports Festival. Yeah, this is a quite interesting one. We have a Sports Festival episode, yes. As far as I can tell, not the first series I've seen actually has something like this. Cardcaptor Sakura did the very same thing in their series, and the case goes to this from the many episodes I watched this series. As far as I can remember, no, not really. Never had an episode dealing with Sports Day. My Hero Academia definitely has had one. Let's see, any other series have one? No, not really. It's like the third or fourth series I've seen actually had this. Yeah, basically, and Kana wants to invite Kobayashi to the event, but she has to work. But eventually, she has to go because she felt obligated to go because she had to work some late nights, so she basically can go to the event. And so her and the best friend basically decide to just this event like do a track meet, and of course, well, they go, and of course, well, her sister, who was actually her dressed up as a maid. Yeah, I'm not really sure of what her fascination is. Basically, of why dress up as a maid for, because she likes it. It's never fully developed in the main series. I think it's developed in the spin-off series for Kana and Rico. Yep, and of course she does still thing of basically when Kana touches her, she basically just shrieks like she's so like madly in love with her. Yep. So they do the race, and of course they hand the baton, of course, and then basically after the event was over with, I want to pronounce this character's name correctly. Kana decides to lick Rico's face. I have no idea what she did this for, but she did. It's particularly a very odd moment to see a little girl lick another little girl in the face. Probably it's something a dragons do. I don't really know. It's particularly very weird. She Rico had a bit of a reaction. Basically, she had no reaction whenever Kana touches her, and to me, it just looked kind of weird. But I wasn't offended by it at all. It's perfectly fine. It's something I'm sure this is probably something for the series. It's not the first series I've seen where I see another character like another person's face. It's by far only the second series I've seen that actually did this. Of course, the first series I've seen this was Golden Dawn from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Though it's the third time I've seen this because this has also happened in Naruto because for some reason, and I asked in the sub, did they manage to keep this in? Nope, it was never adapted for them, and they actually did not put that portion of the scene in. The scene I'm talking about is a scene where Anko throws a katana at Naruto's face, and then she just plows up right behind it, and of course he licks the wound. Yes, it's kind of a gross scene. Luckily enough that when Kana licked Riko's face, there was no saliva there, just simply just licked the face, probably because they're just good friends. Rika writes it off and is just not really offended by it all. Most people might be offended by someone doing that, someone licking someone else's face. This, she just has no problem with it at all because she has a crush on her. Yeah, it's a fun little episode, and aside from that, it's really good. Not much else to write home about this episode. Troop Dragon on the stage. Yep. So, yeah, a Christmas episode because, well, we gotta have one. So, they gotta do something for Christmas, so they try to do a play at Retire Home. Little Match Girl, a play I have never heard of before prior to this episode. Yeah. And apparently, it's a very tragic play. Yeah, it is basically a real story that exists in real life, but yeah, they just don't do much with it. But it's a good Christmas episode for the series. And yeah, and of course we also have this. There's also a minor like sub. There's also a B plot in here of Kana basically decides to have a fireplace near her own bedroom with stockings hanging over her, and then later on you have Kobayashi just leaving a present for her, like next to her bed. And of course, she tries to make sure she doesn't wake up her. It's a fun little episode. As the following episode, New Year's. Yep, we had a Christmas episode. Why not New Year's episode? Now, in the case of New Year's episodes, this is the second series I've seen that actually have had one of these. The first series I saw had one of these type episodes was Gintama. Christmas episodes are something that in anime is not really delved into very much. A lot of the series I've watched, like all the series I've watched, none of them have ever had a Christmas episode aside from this one. This is the first one I've seen that actually had one. Actually, no, it's actually second because they did have one. They did have one Digimon. They had a Christmas episode in that one. Let's see. Pokemon has never technically had a Christmas episode. I know Dragon Ball Z has never had one. Let's see. I'm trying to think here. Of all the other series I've watched, okay, you might ask, what about My Hero Academia? Has that ever had a Christmas episode? The answer is no. As far as I can tell, they had a Christmas chapter in the manga. They had that very recently. But as for an actual episode of the anime, the answer is no. But they're probably going to get to it sometime in the near future. Probably in season 5 whenever they decide to announce that. But overall, in that case, well, the only other series that actually has had a Christmas episode, aside from this series, is Gintama, which also featured a New Year's Day episode, which is so yeah, second series to feature both a Christmas episode and a New Year's episode. I love stuff like this in anime. It's really cool, the fact that it is, but here's the thing. Like 2 episodes after they did the New Year's episode, which was episode 11 for the series. Actually, yeah, it was episode 11. 2 episodes after that, season ends. Though they had an OVA release after that. Next episode is simply put the full backstory of how Kobayashi and Taro met. Yeah, they of course they also have it in New Year's episode where they won this. What's the name of this thing? Yeah, I see it pop up like one other series. A Katsu. Yep, Akatsu. Yes, as far as I can tell, not many anime I've seen basically have featured this thing. Aside from this series, the only series I can think of that actually has had one of these, I know Gintama featured this one frequently throughout the series. But aside from this one, let's see. I think Case Closed has featured one. Hmm. Was there any other series I could think of that's basically that featured this? No. I would say this is the third anime I've watched that actually has had this. If anybody's actually watched an anime that actually has one of these things in it, please let us in the comments below besides the three series. I just named besides two series aside from this one, which is Gintama and what was the other one? It was Gintama and Case Closed has had one too. hmm I cannot honestly think of any other series, even some set in present day Tokyo, has even had one of these at all. Yeah, this thing pops up for roughly 2 episodes. Pops up in episode. It popped up in episode when Kobayashi, when not Kobayashi, when Taru and Kana won the thing via a lottery. As for the lottery thing, this is actually the second series I've seen to feature this thing because it was also featured in Case Closed for like 1 episode. I don't mind this showing up at all. I really don't. As for the whole thing of the shrine thing, well, not many series I've seen have actually had like episodes where they actually go to a shrine. They did this for Case Closed. I know Katama's had this. Let's see, was there any other one? Like I think it was this one. Let me think here. Bleach did have one of these. Yeah, an episode where they went to a shrine. Yeah, for basically yes. Um, let's see. I think that's the thing I can think of where yeah characters go to a shrine. Something like oh yeah, also Cardcap Sakura did this as well. hmm Yeah. So basically, the New Year's episode, yeah, it's basically them giving various New Year's gifts, and of course you have Rico. Yeah, pretty much everybody who was there basically at the shrine, and they go home. Of course, Kobayashi had to ask Rico's mom first, which he had no problem with it. Soda basically probably no problem at all because well, Soda's dad is her boss. Yep. And of course, well, Lulu basically decided to sleep next to him because, well, of course she does. And I remember, I forgot to mention one episode where he's in a dream and he's basically getting squished by her breasts. At one point where the dream he's basically like hitting a samurai, hitting a sumo wrestler, and he's actually hitting her breast. And she's like, "What, Soda? What? Is nothing wrong?" Yeah, that's Lulu for you. Yep. And of course, the news episode does reference of kind of mentioning exactly why she got removed as a goddess because she did something with her sister. Yeah. But in the case of episode 12, the full explanation of exactly what exactly happened during the first meeting between Taro and Kobayashi, the one that was shown in that was mentioned that happened like the day prior to the events of the series. Well, basically, Kobayashi after work got drunk and had a bottle of Dragon Slayer. I have no idea if this is for alcohol or not. She just wanders in the mountains, sees a dragon, bit shocked by it, but she has no problem with it. They talk for a while. Eventually, she notices a sword in her, a big, really big, hulking sword. Climbs on top of her thigh, and eventually pulls out, and then she goes to a human form for the first time. And it kind of looks like, and she also says that this is before they actually had her wear the actual outfit she wears in the series. Her outfit she wears in human form is kind of like rags, and she's kind of looks like she's the nude somewhat. But luck up they don't show her fully nude, anyways. So they have her go with the human form so she can drink the Dragon Slayer. So of course she doesn't know what the heck the thing says. So of course after the sword got pulled out of her freaking side, the sword disappears. Never explain what happened to it though. It just disappears because she basically got stranded here from her own world because she decided not to go back anyways. So this is what they mentioned in happened in episode 1 that she had offered to live with her and become her maid. Yeah, and it's a good episode. And this is the flashback that had the feminist joke. Me, I had no immediate reaction. Was I offended by it? No. It's just basically two girls just have a conversation while they're drunk. And a lot of times people, when they're drunk, they say stuff and they do not mean it at all. That's just my opinion on it. The person who told me about this joke, yeah, it's not offensive toward me at all because, well, it's not my target audience, basically. But aside from that particular joke, the episode itself, now, unlike, let's say, what the first 11 episodes were really good, this episode is just, well, okay. It's just basically the explanation of why. Hmm. And of course, we're setting up for the final episode. Yeah, and the bandit herself does pop up at the end where she, yeah, apparently prior to meeting up with Kobayashi, there was another human who looks strangely like Rico. Yeah, she looks almost exactly like her, except that she's got a different hair color. And she's taller than Rico. Yeah, I'm surprised Terry would never mention this to Rico when she first met her. Like, hey, you look like a girl I used to know. Yeah, never brought up at all. And in fact, she was actually the first human that she met before she met Kobayashi. Yeah. As for an origin of how they met, it's okay. It's just interesting. It's a good backstory episode. That's what this episode is. Basically, two flashbacks. One day before the events of the series, the other one roughly set, I'd say, about several years from the series, when Tara was in her own world talking to her own human. Basically, the end of the episode sets up the final episode of the season, which I'll talk about in my next episode for this particular review series. Overall, pretty good episodes. But if you look at episode 12, all it is just set up for the final episode. That's really all it is. But episodes 9 and 11 are really, really good. And I'm looking forward to the next episode, which is going to be the debut of Teru's father. Yeah, I'm going to hear his dub voice. I think he's going to be here for one episode. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. My next review I will talk about, it's a movie review. Yep, and it'll be the only review I do tonight. Okay. After that, tomorrow, I'm going to do about several videos tomorrow. Being review, I'm going to review 7 Deadly Sins, Fire Force, and at least 2 more movie reviews tomorrow. And of course, also One Punch Man, hopefully. Then I'm going to do a review of the OVA, and possibly the movie review. Basically about 6 videos tomorrow, okay? But see you next video. Bye.